Today we are going to discuss and review the CAT 299 skid steer. Before you start a piece of equipment, it is important to know how to maintain it. It is also imperative to check each piece thoroughly for damage, excessive wear, and structural failure. Each skid steer that we operate at Riegler Blacktop is similar, so please conduct the following pre-trip inspection before you begin operation. Greasing is crucial in maintaining a functioning piece of equipment. Let's begin at the front and work our way back on the CAT 299 skid steer.
Okay guys, one thing that we need to take close attention to is our disconnect attachments here. There's two that are down here that are hidden. They're very hard to get to. Sometimes you got to drop the bucket to get them, and you'll find that your bucket will not come off and you cannot hook the bucket up unless they are greased constantly, daily. So you got 6 on the front here that are very crucial. Every day when you're running, the rock spills over and it gets in there, that have to be greased daily. And then stepping around to the side here, you've got your main axle bearings here. They constantly get clogged up with rock and asphalt. They have to be dug out daily and greased. They're very important because that's what carries our undercarriage. And then the obvious ones, you got your grease points. Everything that moves on this machine has got a grease point. And if you don't know where they're at, it's got a diagram in the back here. It shows them every one on here. So you can go through this diagram just real quick to check them. Very easy to get to. If you have any questions, always refer back to that diagram.
Next, we are going to take a look at the hydraulic fill and sight glass. This is located on the side of the skid steer. Ensure that you keep the fill level in the green zone. Look for rub wear on hydraulic lines by lift arms. Inspect all attachment quick connect couplers. Do not use if they excessively leak.
Okay guys, we want to start checking the oil every day on this. Here's your dipstick here. This is where you fill engine oil. Got the water separator here in your fuel, so you can check this to see if you do start collecting water in this will be clear up through here. It's very simple to take this off and drain the water out. Out of here, this is where you fuel. Air filter needs blown daily. And this is your reservoir here. This does not necessarily dictate what the water fill is in your radiator. You have to refer to the sight glass up here. It's right under this cap here. It's very hard to see, but there is a little sight glass in there and you can see if it's full or not. And again, diagram here explains all this, where everything's at, and also there's a manual behind the seat if you need to really look at it really good. And with the air filter, when you're blowing the air filter, we have an inner and outer cab filters. Very crucial for your heat, especially in summertime in the air condition. You need to take this off and blow it when you blow the air filters, inside and out.
Remove the air filter from the duct and clean the filter with low pressure air if necessary. If you have been working in an extremely dusty environment, this could greatly reduce your AC heat inside the cab if it is not cleaned out. Next, test your lights, horn, and backup alarm before you head out to your job site. If you notice that any part of your skid steer needs attention, inform the garage and your foreman. At Riegler Blacktop, we believe that there is only one way to operate any piece of equipment, and that is the safe way. Please ensure you meet the following safety standards while operating a skid steer. Ear protection is optional, however, is required when using the point breaker. Required protection is your safety vest, pants, and boots. Avoid wearing any type of loose clothing which may interfere when climbing in and out of the cab. If you choose to wear gloves, make sure they fit properly and allow the operator to grip the controls. As always, wear your seatbelt and never bypass the backup alarm. Always keep in mind that just because you can see an operator from the ground doesn't mean that they can see you. The vantage point someone may have from the ground can look extremely different than from the inside of the cab. Never cross directly behind a piece of equipment. Always make eye contact with the operator before coming near a moving skid steer. The control arms and attachments have the ability to block a large percentage of the operator's view depending on the load carried. While production is key, we need to recognize the importance of safety around this versatile piece of equipment. Although hilarious, make sure you are always aware of your load's center of gravity, attachment height, speed, and grade at which you are operating on. In this specific instance, damage to the equipment and injury to the employee could be significant. If you find yourself trapped inside a skid steer, pull the emergency release latch located behind the driver. On the CAT 299 skid steer, First, raise the arms up to clear the ramps and trailer edge. Slowly load the skid steer. Be mindful of the tipping point of drag and machine. Center the weight of the machine to the middle of the trailer axles and lower the arms. Use 4 separate binders and tie points to secure it properly to the trailer. Use a separate chain, binder, and tie point to secure any loose attachments for the skid steer to the trailer. Be aware of the ratchet tension to avoid any kickback. Wrap any excess chain around the binder. For the drop hammer specifically, make sure the locking plate for the weight is secure. Do not transport the drop hammer in a bucket with the motor facing inward. Secure the drop hammer in 2 places, one over the shaft and the other over the skid steer attachment plate. Do your best to keep the mud and asphalt from building up while operating and while in transit from site to site. Check your tracks for any debris that may be lodged. To keep your machines operating properly, make sure to clean them after each use with a release agent or water. Inspect your equipment and attachments for any defects, cracks, or leaking fluid. Check your bucket's cutting edge or teeth for damage that may have occurred during operation.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this short video. Remember, your safety is our highest priority. Please use the lessons and guidelines learned in this video to properly operate and maintain our equipment. And please remember, only trained individuals should operate the equipment.